welcome to another episode of the INH show where we talk about geek culture, news, and lifestyle. So another episode again and another week.
It's been a pretty big week in news, huh?
It has, absolutely. We've had heaps of news actually. But what we wanted to do today is actually talk about a movie that we both watched now.
Yes, well, we've wanted to do this one for a while because we both saw the movie a while ago, and we've both been very we really wanted to talk about it. Shall we dedicate this episode to the memory of Leonard Nimoy?
Absolutely. So live long and prosper, obviously. He has so far, and it is a very sad moment or a very sad week moving forward that...
Well, he's had such a big
Spock.
impact in Geek. Well, I can't say that I'm a big Star Trek fan, but obviously as a big Transformers fan, Galvatron, and, well, do we want to remember him as Sentinel Prime in Transformers 3?
No, I'm forever going to remember him as Galvatron, to be honest, because that's the era that I grew up in.
And he was pretty good in that episode of Simpsons, the monorail episode.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very memorable.
What do you say? Like, my job's down here.
Well, you know, the world still needs laughter, you know? Yeah. So, yes, let's dedicate this episode to the memory of Leonard Nimoy, dearly departed. Absolutely.
So, let's also talk about, well, movies, obviously. What we wanted to do is a review on Kingsman. Secret Service, right? The Secret Service. Kingsman? Secret Service?
Yeah. Kingsman, the Secret Service.
Right.
So I was going to get dressed up, but...
I didn't want to suit up as well.
Yeah, it's just not me.
I'm halfway there. I got the glasses, got the hair slicked back and everything. So
well, I guess I'm just it's like the work in progress from me to you. Right. So yes, Kingsman. Now, did you enjoy it? Would you recommend it?
Highly recommend it. Wait, let me just take a step back. I didn't put two and two together with this one that it was Mark Millar's The Secret Service comic book. I had no idea. For whatever reason, it just didn't. I didn't put two and two together.
So you knew that there was a book called The Secret Service? I
didn't know until Jared from Classic Comics, hey Jared, mentioned it to me. He's like, oh, are you going to watch it? I'm like, yeah, I'm watching it tonight. And it's like, oh, have you read the book? I'm like, what?
Okay.
And it's like, you know, it's from Secret Service. I'm like, Mark Millar's Secret Service. I was like, oh.
Well, honestly, I didn't know it was based on a book until I saw the trailer the first time, which was months before the actual movie came out. I looked at it and I actually said, this looks like it would be a comic book. And lo and behold, it was a comic book. Well, it was based loosely on a comic book.
Well, for me, I wanted to watch the movie because I watched the trailer and it looked funny. And usually, I'm not.
Did it look funny? I thought it didn't look funny.
Look, there's certain parts that looked funny. There's certain parts that looked fun. It had good action in it. It was the character, the kid character, that looked funny to me. You know what I mean? It's a smart ass.
Yeah, I guess.
You can tell that he was going to be a real smart ass and all that sort of stuff. So, you know.
I just like the idea of the gentleman.
Yeah, that was really cool, right?
Which was, I guess, something that they mentioned in it. So you recommend it. I obviously highly recommend it as well. If you haven't seen it, you can still catch it. I'm pretty sure it's still screening.
Highly worth it.
It's worth going to the cinema to watch.
Absolutely. I definitely highly recommend cinemas to watch that movie. And I gotta say, Colin Firth did a really good job as well. I didn't think he would be able to pull off this badass... I mean, he's a gentleman because he was wearing a suit and everything, but at the same time, I didn't think he would be able to pull off this badass he pulled it off really well. I was absolutely convinced. So, great job. The action scenes were really good to me. I mean, I had some friends that actually told me that it almost felt out of place, but for me, it all just gelled really well.
I mean, to me, it felt... I guess we're getting into somewhat spoiler territory already. The action it's fun to watch, but it's so over the top. What do you mean it felt out of place? Like, to me, it felt out of place in as much as everything was... Yeah.
For me, I liked it. I thought it was good.
To me, that was the hallmark of a Mark Millar. Yeah. You know, like, everything's just done so over the top. You've seen Kick-Ass, I assume, and you've seen Wanted.
Yes.
Now, did you like those two movies?
Wanted, I enjoyed. Kick-Ass, one was... I knew what it was, like, going into it, I know what to expect, so I enjoyed it as well. Kick-Ass 2, I didn't enjoy as much.
Fair enough. I enjoyed all of them, some more than others. I think maybe it's the recency bias. I think this is my favorite of the Mark Millar movies that have been adapted so far.
Right.
I felt that the humor, the action, everything was just on so over the top and in a cartoony fashion almost. So yes, it is violent, and if you have a weak stomach, maybe it's a little bit... What do you reckon? Do you think it's a bit hard to watch sometimes?
It depends.
A bit uncomfortable to watch?
Well, it's not violent in the sense of it's like that... what was that Indonesian movie?
The Raid.
The Raid. It's not violent like that, because The Raid was hardcore.
I thought it was getting close to that, though.
It was close to it, but I
there's
still
blood
found...
splatters and
yeah,
that sort
blood
of thing.
splatters and stuff like that, but I found that The Raid was even more hardcore in comparison to Kingsman. But that being said, for what Kingsman is, I thought it was absolutely brilliant. Camera angles, angles and all that was awesome. Fight scenes were crazy. It was just.
I'm just
really
glad
cool.
there weren't any of that shaky cam. So
no,
yeah, that was good.
But when you did see like movements with the camera on certain scenes, like where they pan it, and move it, and close in, and all that sort of stuff, it just really worked for me. You know what I mean?
Do you like the storyline?
Well, the storyline was predictable. In regards to the kid becoming the agent by the end of it all.
The trailer tells you as much.
But pretty much.
Did you like? Because one of the criticisms I've heard about it is that first of all, Samuel L. Jackson's the villain is a little bit too cartoony. These are criticisms that I've heard.
Right.
And the other thing is that the plot or the villain's plot is just too. It's not believable. It's too cheesy.
Basically, he wanted to just wipe out. This is spoilers.
We
already spoke about spoilers, so he wanted to just refresh the earth, basically.
It's like something that Ra's al Ghul would do, except on a more violent scale.
So okay.
Did you like Samuel L. Jackson? This Valentine character?
I don't know about the whole lisp thing that he put in. I don't know if the book actually had him with a lisp.
No, I'm pretty sure
he put it on for himself.
It's completely. From what I read,
that annoyed me a little bit. I don't.
Annoyed you?
Yeah, I don't.
So why did it annoy you? I mean, this is a speech impediment. You know, it's not his fault.
But
it's not
I think. Well, let me rephrase that.
What if he's in a wheelchair? Would you be upset?
I'll tip him over. No, I was kidding. That I would never do that. That's freaking. I'm going to hell for that. Sorry. That being said, no. I didn't like it because I don't think he pulled it off. That's what it is. I don't think he pulled it off well enough and convinced me.
I had no issue with it. It was kind of jarring to hear it at first, but the fact is, this guy looks like such a colorful villain. Why not have a lisp? Why not push it over the edge? Why not make it this, cartoony character?
I thought that was I thought the lisp was annoying. I gotta say, one scene that I do recall is when he went. The Colin Firth character went to his house and they ordered McDonald's. Oh man. I was craving McDonald's. I was craving McDonald's.
Well, congratulations, Kingsman. You are... And let me guess, by the end of the movie, you wanted to go and get yourself a bespoke suit?
I did. I did want to get one. No, I did want to get one.
Oh, okay.
No, but like, it's really cool. I mean... You and I, when we went to New York, we went shopping and stuff like that. And
we're fashionable guys.
Yeah, so, I mean, watching all of that sort of stuff is like, yes, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we know all about bespoke and wingtips and everything.
Really cool.
So, Colin Firth, we unanimously like. I'm not in love with him like a lot of women are, because the gentleman,
True. I do see him from a different angle now
because he did
after
the
this movie. Yeah, I was surprised. So
I was a little bit surprised as well because I thought that yes, obviously Colin Firth is going to be this gentleman because that's all he does. He just plays this like well-spoken, well-mannered characters, right?
Soft, lovable guy.
Yeah. So this puts him in a whole different light, and it's good for his career. Well, I don't know if it's good for his career, but I think certainly for the geek community, it gives him credibility. Absolutely, he could be any English superhero character. Yeah, as far as I'm concerned.
There are. I'm not going to spoil it too much. There are a couple of twists well, not twists, but shocking moments in the movie.
Well, I'm going to spoil something right now. To me, the biggest spoiler was that Mark Strong was not a villain.
Right.
Merlin. I thought for sure this guy's going to end up being the villain.
Yeah. Right.
What did you think about the kid? Eggsy. Did you like Eggsy?
He was alright. I mean, look, I generally, and this is, I know a lot of people are going to hate me to say this, but I actually generally can't watch too many UK or British films. Because it's the accent that drives me insane. I mean, it's not a bad accent or anything, but in a movie form, I think I get bored. It always has this similar style. It's sort of like
but there's so many
Rock and Roller. Who's that guy? Ritchie, Rock and Roller, and Snatch. And
I think the movie's Rock and Roller. Rock and Roller.
Okay, all right. Well, I don't enjoy any of that sort of stuff, and it's just me. Snatch was great in the sense of the actors, what they sort of put into it, but I just don't enjoy.
So you don't like the English accent?
I don't.
I think this is like the equivalent of a bogan, right? Is that what he's supposed to be?
Yeah,
that's the equivalent.
Well,
so it's
it
really
is the equivalent
sort
of that
English.
from that particular area that he grew up in and stuff like that.
I thought the guy was alright. He was quite likable. I actually didn't like him at the time when I first saw him with the hat. I thought this guy's not. I can't really get behind this guy as a sympathetic face, But he grew on me at the end, and I like that Pygmalion transformation. What was the movie that he quoted about? Not Pretty Woman. It was My Fair Lady.
Oh,
it was
My
kind
Fair
of like
Lady,
that transformation.
yeah.
I like that.
So a lot of that sort of stuff was really cool, but I gotta say that by the end of it, where he was wearing the suit and everything, his hair did look a little bit fake. You know what I mean?
Well, I think he looked. I mean, you had to make him look different. You know, you couldn't make him. Like, you got to show that transformation. I thought it was fine. I thought the kid was all right. You know, it was weird, or maybe not weird, but a typical Mark Miller thing. What do you think of the female characters? Non-existent, right? Pretty much non-existent.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Oh, except for the villain. She was there.
But she has no... she's so two-dimensional. You know, she has no... What do you know about her except that
nothing. She's got that and she can kill people. And that's it.
Yeah.
The end. Yeah, it is two-dimensional. Yeah, the more I think about it, you're right.
But it's very cartoony. It's very over the top. I had a lot of fun with the movie. I can't say it was a great movie. It also had...
I thought it was a great movie. I wouldn't say
it's a fun movie.
But it was...
I had a lot of... If the benchmark of a good movie is how much fun you have or how satisfied you are walking out, then yeah, you could say it's a great movie. I was definitely very happy with it.
Okay.
One last thing I wanted to make a note is the music. Now, you know Guardians of the Galaxy, they had that sort of mixtape soundtrack?
Yep.
I felt that Kingsman was not jumping on board that bandwagon, but they were very clever.
They chose wisely, I think.
Yes, they chose wisely. So, sequel. You gonna watch a sequel? If there's gonna be a sequel? Do you want a sequel?
I want a sequel.
I want a sequel as well, so I would hope that there is.
And look, I think from this film, it's changed my view on a lot of like typical UK sort of movies and or films around characters in that country and stuff like that. I think it is going to change my perception. Hey, now I'm all pro Colin Firth, so if he was able to change me to do that, then
just don't go watch the stuff before because he might not. Well, you know, we might not get into it. Don't watch Mamma Mia because he's not. None of the male leads are good in Mamma Mia.
I didn't. Yeah.
Well, go on. What are you going to tell the audience now?
Nothing. I was just going to wrap up. I think that's pretty much covers everything from the movie. I'm just trying to think. Action was great. Storyline a bit linear, and predictable, but it worked.
It was kind of funny as well. I thought it was quite funny.
Jokes in there. What else? Characters. Yeah,
it definitely works for people in our age group. I think that's all it needs to be said. What do you think about Kingsman? Did you end up watching it as well? Surely you have by now.
I reckon they have.
If you didn't like Kingsman, then you probably don't like us either. I mean, that's...
Yeah, that's given.
That's fair to say.
All right, well, I guess thanks very much for watching this week. Make sure you comment on the comment section below, and don't forget to check out our Facebook page as well for any sort of
Give us a like.
Cool. Well, besides from that, I guess we'll see you next week. All hail Megatron.